Hello, my name is Rich Howard from Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the National Guard Products number 1015V mill finish aluminum door sweep with a vinyl insert. This is a very common door sweep in the sense that it is mill finish on the aluminum, that it features a vinyl insert. So the confluence of those two facts make this very common. What does make it a bit of an upgrade, so to speak, is the inclusion of this rain drip cap that is featured on the exterior side. This is a very good door sweep, especially when you consider the cost per foot. It's inexpensive. What it has going for it is its economy, the fact that it has the drip cap, and the fact that it has a relatively thick, well, a comparatively thick piece of vinyl. Now, having said that, vinyl is really the poorest choice of inserts to use because it will fatigue with exposure to ultraviolet, which is, of course, sunlight. It will fail in glorious fashion with extreme temperature. And if you have an exterior application that will get sun and you get a full 4 seasons, I don't expect that this would last more than maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years. I don't have all the facts, of course, in terms of life expectancy, but if long-term longevity of installation is the most important aspect, I would absolutely consider a different door sweep. But when economy rules, let's say you had 100 of these to do, this is probably a great door sweep. Now, let's talk about it. The 1015 is representative of the profile of this item. This exact piece of aluminum extrusion with this exact piece of vinyl insert. The 1015V, with nothing happening after the V in the part number, means that it is the mill finish. You can take the 1015V and add DKB for dark bronze. That would give you a dark bronze anodized over the aluminum base material. So it'll be available in 2 finishes. It may actually be available in gold as well, and I'm going to pull up the product catalog so that we can review that. And I have pulled up the price catalog, and it is available only in those 2 finishes, your V for mill, or just mill, and then DKB for dark bronze. Now, the dimensional properties of this item can be reviewed in the image from below this video, and here they are. You've got an overall height of the aluminum at 1 3/16 of an inch from the top of the aluminum extrusion down to the bottom of the drip cap. Then you have 5/16 from the bottom of the drip cap down to the end of the vinyl. The dimension exactly of where you're going to tailor this onto the door, of course, you will determine based on the sill or threshold condition that would be present. It's not, you don't necessarily flush the bottom of the drip cap to the bottom of the door. You've got 5/16, and being a fairly thick piece of vinyl, that will lend this to be less flexible. So you want to keep in mind that you're going to want the back side of the vinyl seal to make contact with the face of your threshold or your sill, but not so much that you're expecting it to really bend, because trying to bend that over the entire width of the door or length of the door sweep might be a challenge, especially for a door closer or a spring hinge that you might have installed. You don't want to corrupt the proper operation of the door by having a door sweep that is binding on the bottom, which would lend itself to a premature failure of the item as well. Okay, but that does lead me actually to the next consideration that we'd want to put into play with this door, which is going to be these slotted holes that you have down the length of the aluminum extrusion. Those are very important because that is going to allow you to tailor the exact positioning of the sweep on the door bottom itself. Okay, so the important part to know is that the holes are slotted, which will allow you to tailor exactly the position that you would like the door sweep to be on the bottom of the door. The slotted holes will allow and help compensate for a sill that's not level, or maybe a door that's not plumb, or possibly a misdrilled hole. You know, when you're drilling the holes, or pre-drilling the holes, I should say, through the door, whether it's wood, aluminum, fiberglass, stainless, bronze. The drill bit has a tendency to walk a little bit before it pierces into the material that you're drilling into, certainly if you've not used a center punch. So those slotted holes will help compensate for a misdrilled hole as well. This is available in the website in several different lengths, everything from 2 foot to 8 foot, generally in about 6-inch increments. It is available longer than 8 foot, but we don't list it because of the extreme cost to ship something longer than 8 foot. If you need a quote for something longer than 8 foot, reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you with a price for that, but keep in mind it becomes costly to ship. Now, if you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. And we will be happy to ship it out at that length. Here's why. If you had to take this 3-foot piece and cut it down to, say, 32-inch, you would eliminate that first slotted hole in the edge, or at the edge of the door sweep, and then the next one is several inches over. So you're saving yourself the trouble of not only having to cut it, but drill a new hole. And of course, drilling a slotted hole is not an easy thing to do. So if you need a custom length, and it's very likely that you will, assuming that you have a common hollow metal door that's 3 foot wide, well, the door is not exactly 36-inch. You might find that 35 3/4 is a better net size. Order it that way. We'll be happy to cut it, because after all of this material is being manufactured from very long extrusions to begin with. So save yourself the time and the effort. Simply indicate that in the comment field and we'll be happy to supply it that way. Now, this is going to be a great suite for commercial hollow metal doors. There might be a strip mall where you've got 10 steel doors on the back of a building where they all naturally swing out. Cost is important, but effectiveness is also equally important, and it is my opinion that the National Guard 1015V is a confluence of both of those needs. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the National Guard products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And by the way, before we conclude, speaking of those holes, screws are included in a complimentary finish. They look to be about a number 8 by 1 inch panhead type screw. The name National Guard is synonymous with weather stripping. That would be, in my opinion, your best interest if you were to familiarize yourself with their catalog, because how synonymous their name is with the product line. If you have any questions on the National Guard products 1015V, mill aluminum finish door sweep with an integrated drip cap, or any other National Guard product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.